Hi everyone, I'm going to get you guys started on assignment number 6, setting menu prices. So I already have my workbook open that we've been working on. I have the assignment printed out on one side of me, I got my book on the other side, and we're going to tackle this thing together. I'm going to turn off my face and get this started. So we're going to use this assignment as we're just going to take, let's, for example, last Friday's sales for 4 menu items, and we're going to price it using the 4 different methods that we learned this week. So the 4 different methods: the factor method, the contribution margin method, ratio pricing method, and then the prime cost method. So using the information below, please complete the following. Number 1, in your semester workbook, create a worksheet for this method and include the week we are in. For example, the worksheet for the factor method should be labeled Week 6 Factor Method. So I've already done a lot of work already in the book, just to make this video not be so long. You guys have showed me, how to add new sheets and how to change the title of them. So I've already gone ahead and done that. Right here, Week 6 Factor, and I've just shortened up the rest of them. Once we get to the new one, we'll start at Week 7, so we'll know all these. So if you just want to give me a Week 6 in the first one, that's fine. If you want to do Week 6 on all of them, that's fine as well. Just as long as there's one at the beginning to let me know we're starting the new one. So you can see each sheet's already there. I've already put in the formulas. Let's go on. On the sheet, use the method to determine the price of the 5 menu items listed below. Not sure why there's 5, there's only 4. Sorry about that error. Then we'll go on to number 3, which I want you to complete after we get the spreadsheet work done. I want you to submit a Word document answering the following question. If you were a manager of a restaurant with these numbers, which method would you use to set your menu price? Elaborate on why, which one, and why. We'll skip on down below. Use the following information for this assignment. So you have 6 bullet points of all the information that is needed to fill out these methods. Now there's a little bit more information than you needed to make sure you guys are pulling the right numbers. Make sure you're pulling the right numbers. There's only one, not too tricky. And there's also extra added math versus what the book shows. And we'll talk about that once we get to that method. So I'll jump right in. I already got it set up to do the factor, and then we're going to do the contribution, ratio, and prime. You definitely want to do, in our situation, do the contribution before the ratio because there's numbers that play off both. I guess it really doesn't matter which way. I just found it easiest to do it this way. So let's go jump right in. We're on page 94 if you don't have all these formulas memorized. Sorry about that. Okay, so the formula for the factor method is 1 divided by the standard food cost percentage. So that information is already in the sheet, what our standard is. For this example, I chose to use 28%. So 1 divided by 28%, and then I threw it into Excel. Let Excel do the work for you. Just equals 1 divided by 28%. Now that percent is very important. If you do not put the percent in, you're going to get the wrong number. Or you need to change it all the way to a decimal form, which would be 0.28. Either way, I want you guys to show me where you're getting your numbers from. So if you're not using Excel, because I can click on your answer, then I can see what numbers you chose and how you got the answer. So at least give me all the information, because if you got the answer wrong, it will help me tell you where you went wrong. If you just throw in a number there, I have no idea where you got it from, and I can't help you fix it. All right, so 1 divided by 28% is 3.57. I rounded all of it to 2 decimal points. I'll show you later on how to do that in Excel. So now that we got the first step down in the factor method, let's move on to the next one. Factor times menu item cost will give us our selling price. As you can see, I've already put in this information. We know the factor is 3.57, and on the assignment sheet, the Putin is 1.8, $1.80. and multiply that together will give you this, the 6.43. So we'll go ahead and do the Reuben together. So in order to make Excel easier for you guys, because I know that a lot of you guys are still struggling with this, so we kind of have it lined up here. So we got the factor here, we got the cost here, we got the selling price here. If you guys want to go ahead and insert another one and make more of a table, that's fine. I will show you. Oh, let's just put cost and then price. You don't have to do that. You know, it might keep it easier for you guys. I'm just going to keep one row for each number you're going to be in. I'll show you more, so it'll make more sense as we go on. All right, so we know all these are going to be 3.57. So we're just going to take this number down and copy it. You notice I even shortened up the titles of the food. We don't need to have everything in there. Something, you know, Reuben burrito curry. Keep it simple here. So we know that the Reuben cost us $3.70. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to let Excel do the work for us. So just click up here, equals. It works backwards. The factor times the cost. Go ahead and enter, and it does it all for us. Once again, $2.90. Go over here, equals this times this. Enter. So you can also go up here and do other functions. You can find what you're looking for. I don't want to get into that. For me, easiest, we know what we're doing. We have our formula right here. We're just telling you what to do instead of trying to find the product or the difference. You know, it's not maybe the lingo we all remember from school. And that's it for this one. This is definitely the most simple one. We could finish it off. $2. There we are. Times that equals that. Easiest one. Now these are just, the percentage is a made up number. The costs are correct. So make sure you're not using this example and you pull the real standard out of the assignment sheet. And let's go on to the contribution. So I already got the formula in there. We have our non-food costs plus profit. Those two added together and then divide by the number of customers will give us our average contribution margin per customer. So if you look at the example in the book on page 95, they do give us a calculated total of the non-food costs. Now, if you look over in the assignment, we do not have that number already. I gave you two numbers you need to add in order to get our non-food cost items. And then you're going to add that to our target profit. Divide that by the numbers of customers. So we're just going to throw in some numbers to show you how this all works. Let's say 250 in non-cost. Profit, let's say 1750. Close that per, oh no, plus, sorry. Oh no, I was right. All right, sorry. Multitasking with talking and typing are not a strength of mine. Oh no, that was right. Oh shoot, I'm sorry guys. All right, we have that. The non-food cost $250, profit is going to be $17.50 divided by the number of customers we have. Let's say we have 200 and I already did 250. I really like that 250, I guess. And then 212 will equal the number. So let's go ahead now. We got to figure out the work. We could have done it. I guess we could have equaled it already. We could have done it the other way, but I like to see the formula broken down for you guys so I know where to help you. All right, so there is our average excuse me, contribution margin per customer. Now in the book, they do kind of change the lingo, and I think there has been some people who are confused there because it says average CM per customer, and then we go down to step 2, and it just says contribution margin. So it's still, you know, the average CM per customer. They just changed the way it looks. So let's go over now that we know. Let's finish the step 2. The food cost plus the CM equals the selling price. So I'm going to come back over to week 6 and copy this information so I don't have to type it again. Bam, there it is. So like I said, I'm going to keep, this is going to be the food cost CM price. So I'm going to actually, oh, that wasn't what I want to do, I'm sorry. There you go. Spread this over. I'm going to pick up maybe 2 cells. There we go. Merge and center. There we go. Now that's kind of lined up a little better. So now we have our food cost, CM, price kind of lined up. So we know poutine 1.8, CM 9.43. Now the auto sum, well, yep, pick that one up. We know this, like that. We can pull that down. Then add in the rest of the numbers. Now this didn't format nicely like the other one did to give us the money sign in front of it. So highlight these cells and come over here and just click on that dollar sign. So now it moves it over for us. Looks a little bit nicer. So there's contribution method. Don't forget the extra work you got to do to get that non-food cost. But now that you've already done that number, we'll come over here to ratio and we already know what it is. So actually I might want to write that down so I'm not flipping back and forth. 250 and 1750. 212. Okay, so let's go take a look at the ratio. So we've already figured out what the non-food is. 250 plus our target, which we talked was 1750. Close that parenthesis. Now we're going to divide by food cost. Now that is in the the assignment sheet as well. So we're going to say $1,000 was our food cost. Why did I make that so complicated? All right. Let's do equals, paste that back over. Now I'll have the answer. So we got 2. All right, so now we know the ratio. Now our food cost, let's go back over again here. Oh, it's already, I think it's probably still on our clipboard then. Copy. Paste. All right, now we have it all there. Once again, I'm going to take in another, maybe only 1 cell. Merge and center. Yeah. That's good enough. All right, so food cost. So we already know that. 1.8. And the ratio is 2. So let's go ahead, put in the formula, equals here times here, enter. You can change all these to the currency. And then we can drag this down because we know it's 2. Trying to make it easy, you can just pop in the numbers. Do the same thing over here. So now the formula is already in. That it's the food cost right here, which is the B7 times the ratio, C7. So we can pull that down, and once you plug in the rest of those numbers, it's automatically going to fill in for you. So threw in 3.7, just hit enter. Bam, did all the work for you. And now that we know our non-food cost and target profit, we can go on to step 3. So let's go ahead and see if that's still on my clipboard. Paste that. No, okay. Copy. Paste. Bam. All right. There we go. That looks nice. All right. Food costs. 1.8. 3.6. And AutoSum. And just like the next one, we can just... Oh no, we can't pull that number. Sorry. It's different for each one. Yeah. We can pull the formula down. Sorry. I knew there was something I wanted to pull down. I was having a brain fart here. There we go. So now you can go ahead and enter the numbers. Once you get the number here, put it in here, and these numbers are already on the sheet. I hope this is making sense, guys. I've already had quite a few questions on it. And here's the big one. There is some extra steps in this one. And then the way the book shows it, I think people are getting stumped by the first example. So let's go ahead, flip the page over to 97 so we can be on the same page here. So you can see all the formulas already here, and there's even one added in there that is not in your book. All right, digging into prime cost method. So there's a lot of different formulas to get to this answer. Please don't let it overwhelm you. We're going to go through each step. There is an extra step on our assignment versus what the example is in the book. So we're going to kind of mash the two together. So prime cost method. So simply it is prime cost divided by the prime cost percentage will give us our selling price. I am not giving you the prime cost, so we need to find the prime cost. So prime cost is direct labor plus the food cost. So I just kind of throw these up here just so you guys understand where we're at. That is not necessary to have on your sheet. So let's go ahead and look at the example in the book. So on page 97, it starts off in about the middle of the page. An example closer to real-world conditions might look like this. A recipe requires 2 hours of labor at $9.50 per hour to produce 30 portions. It has a food cost of $118.50. The direct labor would be $19. Okay. So we have all that information. We're gonna use the example in the book. So the direct labor is $9.50. I'm sorry. I wonder why that wasn't looking right. $9.50. And it said it'd take him 2 hours to make that recipe. So let's go ahead. Oh, excuse me, I got 2 little barking chihuahuas. Stop. Just the mail. So let's go ahead and do the math. So it's the hourly divided by the hours. The cost divided by the hours. Enter. So it's $19. Yeah. So now we know our direct labor cost is $19. Simple, easy. Let's go on down to the next step. So next step is we want to find our prime cost. So we have our direct labor cost, which we know is $19, and then our food cost. Now, they give you the example in the book, they give you what the food cost is. But we don't have, I did not give you that information. You have to do a little bit more math because the recipe for the assignment is 20 portions. So I actually have a little thing already pulled out here. So we need to figure out for each one of those items how much the cost is going to be, because we have the cost per portion and we need to find for 20 portions. So let's go back and cheat, get all that stuff. Copy over here to prime. Paste. So we need to find out 20 portions. Very simple. We know the price is $1.80. At 20 portions, let's go ahead, equals cost times how many we're making. So that gives us $36 that it costs us to make the 20 portions of the poutine. Go ahead and follow that on through all the way till we can get this number. So now that we know the number, let's get rid of that. Now that we know their price, let's go ahead and make this easier. Put in the dollar symbol. All right, $36. Now we can put step number 2 together. So again, per item. Come on, baby. Paste. Okay, direct labor cost, 19. Food cost, 36. Gives us our prime cost. So we can go ahead and auto sum that one. Bam. Hold on. Okay, that is correct. It's not going off the same as my cheat sheet. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, sorry. Let's go ahead and put all these into a dollar sign as well. So we can carry that one over, and then once you're done with each one of these, you just plug in the number down here. And that's what a lot of these are doing. We're just pulling one number from one spot until we figure out the answer. So prime cost. We already know all the rest of this information. Let's just go ahead and pull the numbers in. Sorry, I'm not good at multitasking. Talking and typing together are not a forte of mine. Okay, so now we all know. Now we know the prime cost. Go ahead and just keep pulling these numbers divided by portions. And we already know we're making 20 portions. Bam, you're going to get the portion cost there. Once you get the portion cost, you're going to divide by the prime cost percentage. Now, right above the example that we're looking at, in that little paragraph above, talks about what our prime cost percentage is. So what it is just your labor cost and your food cost. That was the first thing we talked about. So both of those answers are again in the assignment sheet. Please email me if you have any other questions. I really hope that helped. Sorry, typing and talking are very hard for me to do, so I feel like maybe I definitely could have helped you better on this assignment. Email me if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing this. Thanks, guys.